Alrighty guys, it's that time of year where the State of Origin question pops its head up on the back of the NRL State of Origin being a huge success at the MCG on the weekend. AFL State of Origin, it used to be a fan favourite and it's disappeared for such a long time. So I want to know who loves it, who hates it. Personally, I'm a big fan of it. I would love to see it come back. I mean, just imagine watching all of your favourite players running around, playing on the same team. We've got the good old days where we had Lockett and Dunstall and Ablett in the one forward line. I mean, who would have thought you would see that? So with that said, I thought I would put together my current Victorian State of Origin side that I would like to see play. So let's go check it out. Here's a look at the backline for my team to start off with. Now, I have tried to keep players in relevant positions and not go full All-Australian and just make up random crap as we go along. So, with that said, back pocket, Nick Vlaston from Richmond. I think he's a very underrated defender. Lots of courage, can play the spare in defence, takes plenty of marks, plenty of tackles, could play on the smaller forwards, and also provides a good rebound option out of the backline if the halfbacks are a bit tied up. Fullback Darcy Moore, self-explanatory. He's an absolute monster of a defender. Sets up the play really well. Could even possibly be the captain of the side with how he performs for the Magpies. But Darcy Moore's an absolute no-brainer to be a fullback. And in the other back pocket, I've gone James Sicily. Maybe a little bit more controversial because he's not a typical small defender. He's obviously a bit more mid-sized, but he's got a super long penetrating kick. Takes a very nice intercept and contested mark. And I think just for the theatrics of it as well, playing in the State of Origin game, I think his type of personality and play style is very much suited to this game. So I've gone for Sicily. Half-back line, we've gone Flounders from Gold Coast. He's had a super year so far, playing a few different positions, but his run and carry off halfback would be invaluable in a side like this. Jacob Wiedering at centre halfback, one of the best centre halfbacks in the competition. There's no doubt that he straightened up Carlton upon his return and made them a much better side. And he would be vital to taking some of the bigger forwards. And for the final halfback spot, we've gone Harry Sheasel, who's had a phenomenal year. Obviously, he's rotating into the midfield a little bit now, but most of his best work has been done on the halfback line. So it seemed like an absolute no-brainer to put him there. Racks up disposals, very good by hand and by foot. And I think he would excel playing with all these fantastic players around him. So that is the back line for my Victorian State of Origin team. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Moving on to the midfield group for my State of Origin side. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. So I'll start with the wingers. I've gone with Touk Miller on one wing. Now, I know he can play as a midfielder as well, but he does spend some time on the wing. And I think it would just be part of a rotation system, I suppose. But he has been electric the last couple of years, to be honest. He's got a pretty good body of work. So Touk Miller gets a spot on the wing. On the other wing, I've gone with Ed Richards from the Bulldogs. Now, I know Bevo has started using him as a midfielder as well in the centre to great effect, but his pace up and down the wing is very, very hard to match. And I just think he adds a bit of a point of difference. I like to have speed on the wings, and I think he and Miller would be some very handy wingmen. Into the middle of the ground, we've got Max Gawn as ruck. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. Big Gawny has been one of the premier rucks of the comp for the last 5 to 8 years. And he's just that type of guy who would thrive in a State of Origin environment. So he was a no-brainer. Bontempelli in the middle. The Bont is a superstar. He's put together a big year. He can drift forward. He can kick goals. He can take strong marks. He can do it all. So the Bont gets a midfield spot. Nick Dacos, no, the self-explanatory. You're not going to be doing State of Origin without someone like Nick Dacos, who's an absolute superstar of the game. And the final spot I gave to Caleb Sarong, who I think's had a very, very good year for Fremantle. Can find the ball inside and outside, can go forward and kick goals as well. And I think he would actually complement that midfield really well. So that's my State of Origin midfield. Let us know what you think about that in the comments below. All right, and now onto the forward line for my Victorian State of Origin team, starting with the half forwards. Hugh McCluggage. Now, I know a lot of you will be screaming that he's a wingman, and he does play a lot on the wing, I won't lie, but looking at the Brisbane Lions team sheets, he has been named at half forward quite a bit, so I'm drawing my inspiration from there. But Hugh McCluggage is a very well-rounded player, dangerous heading forward of centre, and I think he makes complete sense to be in the front half of the ground. And he can rotate onto a wing as well if he wants. I'm not going to stop him. Jeremy Cameron, centre half forward. He's an absolute superstar. Loves long range goals, good mark, and I think he would fit this team mould very, very nicely. Jordan De Goey on the other half forward flank. Another one of those big time players who I think, similar to Sicily, I think his personality and the way he plays would actually suit the State of Origin quite well. So I've got De Goey on the other half forward line. Deeper in the forward line, Tom Papley is a small forward. Again, you got to love the aggro and the intensity that he plays with. Knows where the goals are. He can move up the ground as well. Full forward, Charlie Curnow, absolute no-brainer. The dude's a superstar. He's probably going to win the Coleman by 10-plus goals. He can take the big marks, kick the big goals. He's a very, very hard matchup, so that was an easy selection. And the final spot in the forward pocket, Toby Green, similar to, I mean, imagine having a forward line with Papley and Toby Green in it with De Goey up a bit further up as well. It's just menacing, it's dangerous, it's got goal power written all over it, and I just think it made sense to have Toby in there. So there's my Victorian State of Origin team. Let us know what you think of the team in the comments below. I'm sure there's a few other players that could have made it that you would have liked to see in there. So let us know who they are, and we'll, hopefully we can see some form of State of Origin back soon, because I think it's a brilliant concept. I know injuries are the issue, but seeing the players, the best of the best play all together from all different teams, I think is an amazing concept. And I'm all for State of Origin.